Hello everyone, Unable to Sleep Calamity here once again with another video, and today we're talking about if Kamisato Ayato is worth pulling. He's gonna get his first rerun banner ever since his release. And before we start talking about this character, we usually cover everything from talents, constellations, weapons, artifacts, and just showcasing the character in general. But before we start, I usually preface these videos by saying, hey, if you like the character's playstyle, you like the character's personality, or you just want the character, feel free to pull for him. This isn't a video telling you how to spend your primo gems. This video is meant for players that are on the fence, not sure how it works, how you're supposed to play, or his playstyle, and how you're supposed to build him and stuff like that. So let's get started with his talent. So before, I guess I should also mention this. This is not my account. I do not have Ayato on my account, so I am borrowing a friend's account, and his Ayato is not optimally built, or like it's not, it's not maxed out, I should say. It has a lot of work to be done, as you can see by the talent levels. They're not even at 8, but that's okay. We're not trying to do Spiral Abyss right now or anything fancy. I'm just trying to showcase the character. And that being said, let's take a look at his talents. So his normal attack talent is just very standard stuff here. In fact, you're not even going to upgrade it at all because his damage comes from his elemental skill and he gets a buff from his burst. So mainly just his skill. So we're going to go straight to the skill, and basically when you tap E, he's going to leave a water illusion where you casted it, but that's not the important part. The important part is that his normal attacks turn into these like really fast slashes, and he can do a bunch of them for a limited amount of time. That's how Ayato does his main damage. There's a lot of text here, as you can see, but it's just basically, as I said before, very quick slashes. They do hydro damage, and this cannot be overridden. So for those of you that have a Bennett C6, no need to worry, you can use him with your Ayato. The second effect, which I'll just quickly go over. Again, when this character has his trial, you can read these talents more into detail. I'm just giving you the short version. But he gains these stacks that basically increases damage, and they're based off his HP. However, you don't actually build Ayato to HP, but it's nice if you get HP as a substat on his artifacts, but definitely not something you like invest into heavily, like Kokomi or Nilo or someone like that. His burst is very simple. If you have Ganyu, it's very much the same thing. It's a big AoE of AoE hydro damage. Instead of cryo, it's hydro. But for him in particular, it gives him a normal attack damage buff. It increases as you level up the burst. So right now it's at 16%, but it'll go up to like 18% and even 20% if you decide to like go into higher levels. His slashes, when he's doing his fast slashes during his skill, do count as normal attack damage, so keep that in mind when looking at buffs. This is also affected by attack speed buffs, so stacking attack buffs will actually increase the amount of slashes you can do before his duration is over for the skill. Something nice to know. And then we'll take a look at his passive talents. Basically, when you use his skill, this first talent, which is called Kamisato Art, it has a very long name. Mine wo Matoshi Kiyotaki. When you use his skill, he'll instantly gain those 2 stacks of Namisen, which just basically, again, just increases damage. And then when his water illusion explodes, which is at the end of the skill, he'll gain even more stacks once again. And then he has another passive talent where he will gain energy if he is not on the field and he has less than 40. So it's pretty nice, helps with the energy recharge needs. And then he has a cooking talent. I'm sure a lot of you out there really appreciate a good cooking talent. His is kind of weird though. It gives you an 80% chance to receive a suspicious dish of the same type. All right, let's take a look at the weapons. This is honestly on par with his signature weapon. This is the Primordial Jade Cutter. It's a really strong weapon for not just him, but a lot of other characters. If you have one of these lying around, basically, I would say, you don't need to pull for a signature weapon, is my 2 cents. That being said, if you're free to play, and you're looking for 4-star options, Lion's Roar is okay. It's the effects as opponents that are affected by Pyro or Electro. This will include Electro Charge teams as well as Vape. And I know it's not here. This account doesn't have it, but I always recommend a Blackcliff Longsword or just the Blackcliff weapons in general. You can get these weapons from Paimon. Unfortunately, it's not this month that Paimon is selling these weapons to you. It's the Royal set that are on sale. So next month, which, well, it isn't that far away at the time of recording, in January, you'll be able to get the Blackcliff weapon. So if you need a 4-star weapon or you just need something basic but something, you know, good, that's the way to go. Artifacts. We need to talk about a certain artifact set, but basically it's better to just go Heart of Depth, I can't say that artifact set correctly, or Gladiator's Finale. Basically just increases damage, and when you're looking for substats, you're looking for the usual suspects when it comes to a main DPS character. Crit rate, crit damage, attack percentage, energy recharge is good. And then, of course, as we mentioned earlier, because of the stacks he gets from his elemental skill, getting some HP percent isn't the worst thing in the world, or, you know, it's not a DPS loss. And some elemental mastery, of course, another good substat. Well, I suppose it depends on what kind of team you're using him on. If you plan to use him on, like, Vaporize, or, you know, Bloom team, stuff like that, then, you know, of course, it'll be good there. But if you're doing a freeze comp, then it won't be so good. And then for main stats on the artifacts, you're just usually looking for the usual suspects again. So depending on what weapon you're using, either crit rate or crit damage on the circlet, hydro damage bonus on your goblet, of course. And then for the sands, again, depending on what team you're running, attack percentage is usually the way to go, or you could go for elemental mastery as well. Constellations. I'm gonna quickly summarize all the constellations for you, but just like any other 5-star character in this game, you do not need to get any of his constellations for him to do well. You can completely be fine with doing all of the content, which is just having him be at C0. But quickly, all of his constellations just basically mean more damage for your Ayato. C6 giving him a ton more damage because of the incredible effect, but not necessary. And then I guess the worst constellation is the one that gives him +3 to his burst, because again, he does his damage from his skill and the burst kind of buffs it a bit, but it's not going to be like a crazy change when you actually get the +3 to the burst. All right, so my friend has Ayato in a freeze team at the moment, so I can't showcase, you know, Vaporize or Electro Charged or Bloom teams even, since we don't have those characters and teams built and available here. As I mentioned before, or as you probably noticed, this Ayato is not built all the way, so we can't fight like bosses or, you know, showcase him in the Spiral Abyss or anything like that. But that's okay. We're just gonna do a quick combat demonstration. Ayato is very, very easy to play as, so let's just give ourselves a shield. And then we're just gonna pop the skill because we don't have our burst, and then you just left click. That's it. Left click, left click, left click. We can't hit the guy up there. Let me use Diona real fast. Oh, whoops. I should use the burst there first, but usually if you have his burst, you cast that first, and then you tap your skill, and then just click, 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 or if, you know, if you're on mobile, tap, 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 whatever, you know, controller you're using. It's very simple. There's no combo or animation canceling or anything fancy like that. It is that easy to play as Ayato. We have some Fatui homies right here. And we're just going to use Diona first, just to get a shield real fast. Pop the burst first, because we got a normal attack buff. And then you just tap, or, you know, activate the skill, then just keep left clicking. And that's it. So once his skill is done, that's usually a good time to swap to your teammates to set up some other stuff, and then just... It has a very short cooldown. You know, and that's it. That's basically Ayato's playstyle, his gameplay. Now, as I mentioned before, he is a character that's very versatile with his teammates. You have a freeze comp, as you're seeing right here, but he also can do vaporize teams, electro charge teams, bloom teams, and their associated teammates and stuff, and they all work well. That being said, there's one thing I forgot to mention about Ayato. I'm trying to find the domain. He does have an artifact set that was sort of tailor-made for him, and it is called the Echoes of Offering. Please do not farm this set if you are pulling for Ayato. I know you're going to look at this and you think, okay, oh look, it buffs normal attack damage. That's what Ayato does, right? This is probably an amazing artifact set. I'm going to farm this for Ayato. Please don't do this. The reason this artifact set is bad is because it relies on your ping. So if you're a mobile player or a Wi-Fi warrior and your ping is all over the place, you're actually going to lose a lot more damage by using this. It's way easier just to farm a Heart of Depth or even a Gladiator's Finale and just be fine with your consistent damage, rather than having to rely on this artifact set that can vary in damage because of the RNG aspect of it, as well as it relying on your ping. You need to have a ping of less than 100, which again, you can't really have control over if your internet isn't, the best. And for mobile players out there, I know there's a lot of you can't always be in the best internet or connect to the best Wi-Fi at all times. So this isn't really a good set to farm for him. Just do Heart of Depth, in my opinion. It's easier. That being said, hopefully I have some gameplay of Ayato in the background while this is going on. I did get to use him during the event, basically the extended character trial event, right? Where we got to try a bunch of characters and do a little bit more fights with them. Should have that running in the background. But basically, Ayato is a very simple to use character, similar to Yoimiya in many ways, because they both do damage via their elemental skill, which buffs their normal attacks. However, Ayato has a step above her in that he doesn't actually need to upgrade his normal attack talents. You can just upgrade the elemental skill and you'll be fine with that, as well as the burst, but the burst has a lower priority, of course. And yeah, he also has a very easy playstyle as we showcase. Just activate burst, activate skill, then just left click, left. Or if you're, as I said. But with that being said, that is going to wrap up this video. I'm trying to keep it short. But if you have any questions on Ayato, I will do my best to try to answer him. Thanks again to my friend for letting me borrow the account just so I can showcase the talents and the weapons and the artifacts and whatnot. But yeah, if there's anything I forgot to mention about his kit or his talents, please let me know in the comments. Or if you have a question that I didn't cover. With that being said, subscribe if you like the content. We're going to have a video out for Raiden out soon. And thank you so much for watching.